أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد اللهم صل وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المنتجبين سيما على بقية الله في الأراضين إمام زماننا حجة الله القائم المهدي عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف لعن الله على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام الدين إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So let us take out our book here. And so it is important for us to understand what do you understand from wujud, from existence. So, beta, if I ask you what you understand from existence, how will you define it? Don't take it as a trick question. Don't take it as complicated. The idea of this conversation is to help you in a way that these things become intuitive to you, not like, heavy on you. Get my point? So, and these kind of things happen when you have conversation. So have a conversation with me. What do you think if I say to you, hey Bilal, what do
जी
you
आगा
mean
जी
what do you mean by existence? What does it mean? Define it for me.
so एक तो one existence will be like the physical existence that like
No,
you
existence. Just define me. Don't give me example. Don't give me type or anything. If I say existence, it means what?
it means a sense of being.
A sense of being. Okay. So, in understanding that you are present, that you exist, and that you are, in a realm where you can perceive yourself, right? So, in
100% true. Yep.
right,
Like a,
so right. Assalamu alaikum, Ali, and I don't know if Amin is with you or you're alone.
Wa alaikum assalam. No, I'm alone right now.
Okay. So we are trying to go over because before we switch to the phase on Mahia, which is the appearances of things and how they have attributes and so on. But we would like to make sure that we understand the basics related to wujud, because we want to go move forward, and then we go forward, we come back and we say the base is gone. So all right. So what we said, so can we have a definition of wujud, of existence? It's a simple yes or no answer.
so there were like two different definitions of it that you gave us last time. So one definition was that like us animals and all of them, so everyone that like can breathe or that is a state of being, so that's one existence or one way of defining it.
That's an attribute, but that's not a definition. That's an attribute of it, right? Definition. So that means basically what you are saying is that because definition should be something that is better than the existence itself. So, for example, uh, you know, uh, if I say, which should be more obvious than this. So, for example, if I say, what is human? So you say an animal who has the ability of speech. Now, speech in al-haywan natiq, speech means both articulation and comprehension, both. So, an animal with speech characteristics, for example, becomes human. So, the word human, the ambiguities of it are removed or are clarified by the words when we associate it to the words of animal and speech. We say, oh, okay, so we're talking about an animal, and we're talking about an animal which has the ability of both articulation and comprehension of complex entities, not of simple entities.
Of complex thought patterns and
Yeah, right? Natiq, not al-haywanun natiq.
natek.
Okay, with a qaf.
Yeah, noon alif toy kaf natek.
Natiq, right? So, but if we talk about existence, if there is no such thing, you can say, oh, existence means something that exists. Well, that's not a definition, that's just a repetition of the word. Or you say, oh, existence is something which is white. Why? Black is not an existence. Or existence is something that we perceive. Well, what do you, if you don't perceive, it's not, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You see what I'm trying to say?
No, yeah, I know what. Well, basically, yes.
Yeah. So it is very important for us to recognize intuitively that if we are asked, hey, what is existence? We understand intuitively and automatically it is something which is innate, intrinsically understood, cannot be defined in the sense that we cannot define it because definition should be more clarifying than the entity that it is defining, while existence is so self-manifest that there is nothing that can be more manifest than existence in by itself.
True.
Right? Because if you don't exist, how the heck you are able to do anything?
Mm-hmm.
How can you even have an attribute? Actually, how can you even have a definition? Unless you were to exist. Right? So
True.
existence in by itself is an intuitive entity. An entity which is automatically perceived and intuitively present, and therefore it is from what we call as badihiyat, from the things that are intuitively or innately known.
Recognized and innately recognized.
Yeah. So they are innate in nature. Okay. So that is that. And that is why, if you remember, so understanding of wujud, is it acquired knowledge or presential knowledge, meaning ilm huzuri or ilm husuli?
It's Suzuri.
Hali, what do you think?
I agree.
Right, it is presential knowledge, which means what? No human being can come and say, oh, I did not think that this was an existence. Well, what? Existence is something that is intuitively and innately present. So if you were present, then you knew that you were present. Okay, and so on and so forth.
Even
So, yeah.
even babies have that as well. Like
No,
even like
any entity that is present in its own realm would know that it is present, depending on whatever sense of knowledge it possesses about its own existence. To that proportionality, it would automatically know. Right?
True.
So we decided that this is something which is intuitive, innate, and it is presential knowledge, right? So which means it is one of the most basic knowledge that exists within us about us. And that this entity of existence, like we discussed last time, it is the basis of all calculations, in the sense that in terms of existence, we are all in a way belong to the same bigger group of entities, all of whom exist. So that is why this becomes the criteria for, all sorts of laws, regulations, etc. The primary focus of everything. Because we discussed, if you remember, that if we deviate from this, well, then there is no end to it. Diversity, then people can just find their own niche and start having problems. Now, when we do Mahia, there will be some caveats to it, but for now, I will bring those caveats in their own time. Okay. So now, wujud, and meaning existence, is, we said it is mushtarak ma'navi, not mushtarak lafzi, right? Meaning Bilal is mawjood, has a wujud. Computer has wujud. Stone has wujud. Pen has wujud. Book has wujud, and so on and so forth. All of them in the realm of existence, they are all present, right? So the word existence is one word which is applicable to different entities, meaning different meaning. Right? It is not like the wujud for table is different, wujud for stone is different, wujud for... Now, the attributes of those entities are different, but not the existence. They either exist or they don't exist. Right? So, inshallah, we understand, we agree with that. Okay. So, one of the proof that wujud is a singular entity, no matter what the existence is because the antonym or the contradiction or the opposite, in the sense of contradictory opposite of existence, is what? Non-existence, right? Something that doesn't exist, right? Adam, right? Can Adam be more than one? Can Adam be two? What doesn't exist doesn't exist.
No, Adam can only be one. Adam, it's either Adam or Ghari Adam. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Either it is Adam or not Adam. Well, if it is not Adam, it is wujud. And if it is wujud, then it is not Adam. We done. Right? Okay. So that is something that we understood. Now, then, wujud can be either conceptual or physical. right? I mean, doesn't have to be an existence only in the realm of physics or physical realm, right? Could be conceptual, completely a conceptual existence. But regardless of that, in each realm, it would either exist or not exist. Same principles of existence would apply to it, regardless in whichever realm it is. It would exist or it would not exist. If it exists, it would follow the pattern and the issues related to existence. And if it doesn't exist, well, then we cannot talk about it because it doesn't exist, right? Fair enough? Okay. Since I'm not hearing anything, so I'm assuming it is fair enough. All right. So then we said that wujud or the existence is the primary entity. Anything other than that is secondary. For example, and we can prove it. So for example, if I say Ali or Adnan or Bilal is, for example, is a man or are men. They are man. Ali is a man, Adnan is a man, Bilal is a man, or they are all men. Is it that you have two existences? One is the existence of Ali or Bilal or Adnan, or their collective existence, conceptual, a group, and then there is an existence of a man or men as a collective, and they are two separate groups. No, no. The same entity that we are talking about, they have an assigned value of being men. The same entity, right? It's not a separate existence, correct? Right. So therefore, and can you say, oh, XYZ that doesn't exist is a man? Like what? So that obviously is absurd. So we prove by simple logic, without going into further extended details, that existence precedes assigned value. You can only assign a value or a differentiator to the existence once the existence is there. And that's a very important thing in arguments, because people, when a lot of times, will bring to you hypothetical conditions, and if you pay attention to them in those hypothetical situations, they would be talking about something completely ridiculous that cannot exist. So then the easiest way to tackle these kind of situation is that you say, man, what doesn't exist, how can we talk about it, right? So for example, if somebody comes and says, oh, what if there is a place where 2 plus 2 becomes 5? Well, how? Because 2 plus 2 can never become 5, and we can logically prove it. So you are assigning a wrong value to addition of two identical entities, right? And therefore, so, or somebody say, well, what if a person would do X, Y, Z, A, B, C in terms of this? So if you can figure out whether the person is in fact existential entity or not, well, then you can say, well, either the person exists, and let's say they have taqwa, they're saying, well, then that taqwa, is it going to work out? on the other side, is it compatible with, for example, not offering salah, etc.? But they are going more into the realm of assignment. But the point is focusing on the issue of whether an entity that you are talking about is actually a factual entity or not will help you a lot in conversations and in mental clarities. So that is that. So existence is primary and rest of it is attribute or an assigned value. Okay. So when we are in the realm of assigned value, that is where plurality comes into existence. Yes, because assigned values can be any, right? You can have plurality of attributes, but in wujud there is only a singularity, or whether in terms of existence, but in terms of type of existence, duality can come, meaning it can either be wajib, meaning has to exist, or can exist, which means it is equal in terms of its possibility, whether it can exist or it cannot exist. And the third one is the one which can never exist, like a room which is bigger than its own house at the same time, in the same context, etc. Right? So that's important. We understand that. But whenever something is in the realm of existence, it would become existence. Meaning that the possible existence is either going towards non-existence if there is no causality, or going towards the actual existence if there is a causality. So even though there is an essential existence discussion and a possible existence discussion, but within this essential and possible, the word existence remains a common thread, right? It remains a common thread. So whenever we are talking about something in the realm of existence, that is when we are talking about whether it is in existence eternally or not eternally. But at the end of the day, it is existence. So this is therefore important. So some, and let me throw a question at you. I think I've done this before, so let me bring it back. I'm throwing this to all of you. So, question: if Allah, which is essential existence, the wajibul wujud, created from matter, that means matter was present already, right? And if Allah, there was no matter, then you can't say Allah created from nothing. I mean, that's absurd, right? If Allah did khalq from Shay, min Shay, so then that means Shay was already present. And if Allah created from nothing, well, how can He create from nothing? Something has to be present in order for things to be created. So how are you gonna address that? You're gonna think about it, or you can answer it, or what? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Isn't the point actually that Allah was always present? So
No,
it's not, we're not starting from nothing?
so true, but that is, you are right, but technically that is not the question, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the question is, if we are created from Shay, right? That means Shay preceded Allah, and Allah is a an entity that is kind of a maker, not a creator.
Oh, I guess maybe I don't follow. Why does us being created from Shay mean that Shay preceded Allah?
Because he created us from something that was already present. That is min Shay, right? So if you are and the thing is that if you are, they are saying that if Allah, if it was nothing, then well, you cannot create from nothing. So what you are saying, if I am correctly understanding you, is you are saying that since Allah is eternal, therefore the argument of creation, yani being prior to Allah, is invalid. Is that
Yes, I guess I don't understand the premise of the question. Yeah, because like if we've already established that Allah is eternal, then there can't really be a before to begin with. Like there's no point in discussing which came first if Allah is eternal.
true? Good. So therefore your focus therefore will be on the attribute of essential existence, correct?
Yes.
So you will effectively say that your question is incorrect. This question is incorrect. You have two mistakes here. First, your yes, Bilal.
Isn't there like, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there that hadith, kunto kanzan makhfiyan farattu an arafa, that I was like a treasure that was like, and I wanted myself to be like known, and that's why I created the humans.
True, but we are not talking about humans, right? We are talking about creation in general,
I was just like, fair enough.
right? So, uh, I mean, I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'm simply saying that that answer wouldn't fit here. So that's all. So what you need to stay focused on is that stick to proof of the essential existence, and always remember. I think I sent you all this, or didn't I? Did not. Did I or did I not? Oh, I'm. How do you know? I'm not sharing the screen. Okay, I'm about to end, and because next time you'll go to Maya, so I just want to make sure I have hit all the points of existence before I do that. Allow me 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Here. Can you see it now? You can see it? So do you guys have it?
Yeah.
Did I share it with you guys?
Oh, the file?
Or this all what is written here?
I don't remember it personally.
Okay.
I do remember you gave us something though, so I don't remember. It might have been this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make sure that you all have it. Look, this is a very important thing to learn. Because you should know all of this.
Oh yeah, you did send it in the group in Telegram.
I thought I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Right.
It looked familiar. I just didn't remember seeing a Word document. That's why I was a little bit.
No problem. No problem. No problem. These are important, and I have kind of spent quite a bit of time in kind of making it summarized in a way that it doesn't become a burden on you guys to hopefully this is not a burdensome read. and it's easy to remember. And if you would remember this, you would always be able to stand firm as long as you know how to use contradiction. And this you can easily work this through. So if somebody says that Allah created from, look, we say Allah is the one who created from something. From something. Min Shay. Okay? Pay attention here. Very, very, and remember all these things. So if somebody comes and says to you, well, then the contradiction or the opposite or the naqiz or the opponent side of from something is nothing, that is misleading. Who's going to point out why is it misleading? That's the last of our conversation today. It's really important. And I'll once we solve it, I'll tell you why is it important. Okay, so if let me pull up the ayah, right? So that says خلق الله من شيء شيء. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I cannot. I mean, I have the ayah, I just cannot find the reference for it. Just a second. أولم ينظروا في السماء في ملكوت السماوات والأرض. Let me see. أولم ينظروا let me see. Surah Al-A'raf 185. Al-A'raf. Because I want to give you this exact example and I don't want to leave it for the next one. 185 here. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to start sharing this verse. Can you see it? This ayah. Can you see it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you can see, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, أَوْلَمْ يَنْظُرُوا فِي مَلَكُوتِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. Right? So, and whatever Allah created, min shay. So if somebody says, well, Allah created min shay, like the one that we are talking about, and then, you answered, Adnan. If Allah says min shay and somebody comes and says the opposite or the contradiction of min shay is la shay. Yani from something, the contradiction of this becomes nothing. Right? You understand what I'm saying? All of you?
Yeah, you're basically saying that like if it's like min shay, so the opposite of min shay would be la shay. Like
Right. If somebody comes and says this to you, then the answer to that will be no, you are wrong. You are wrong. It would be La min shay. Not la shay. Which means not from something, maybe from something else. Meaning creation. The argument Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran that is bringing, it's saying that we created from something. From something. Right? The opposite would be not from something. Not from nothing. Do you get the difference? Okay, let me bring it out. Since none of you are talking, so I don't know. All right. No. But the point is, they are trying to confuse you in their argument. Their entire argument is wrong. That's the point. The point is, look. This is the thing. Can you see it? Zaid, proposition A and proposition B, right?
Right.
Zaid is the stand. So if I say here, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to write it here. Right? Okay. So if I say right, Allah created from nothing. Or Allah so that is not, this does not follow the, do you understand? This did not follow the contradiction pattern. Instead, it should be, yeah, not from, do you understand? Do you see from, so not from something is not necessarily nothing. They are not equal to each other. Huh? No, something or so could be something else.
Yeah.
No,
So
Now this sentence, yeah, now I am getting the point of it though. So it can be like something else.
are you, so by something, do we mean like X? So it's Allah created from X, Allah created not from X?
yeah, could be
It
Y.
could be Allah created from Y,
Y,
basically.
for example, exactly.
Okay.
You get it? So yeah, I was just gonna thank you because I was gonna exactly do that. Yeah, not from something. So we call it X. Well, chief, it could be a Y,
Yeah, okay. Now I get that. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
right? So my point is, things can sound fancy, but they're not really correct. They are wrong. They're just trying to fool you. Yeah, thank you, Ali. Thank you.
No, thank you. That's just the way I think about it. I use
No,
X.
that's very good.
That was
Very good.
clear
Alhamdulillah.
to me.
It's great. Right? So this something is a very ambiguous word, right? It has a broad spectrum. So that is why, since they couldn't do to something and not from something, so that is why they try to kind of confuse people by replacing take away this not, okay, and then change this something to nothing. Get it? Well, this is a structurally inaccurate argument. Do you understand? This is if you remember, the argument had to have. Let me just. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Right. This is this is the structure of the sentence. That's how it is. Right. And we discussed in subject, predicate, space, time, condition, relation, particularity. Right. All get it? So this is the structure of the sentence. But when you take it and remove the not from here and add something, let's say make it hall, well, this is not a contradiction statement, right? This statement is not contradictory, correct?
Yeah, true. It's not anymore. Because you just said that, like, instead of being in the room, he is somewhere else in the hall right now.
The hall. Who knows what hall is? Ali and Adnan, do you get it?
I'm not sure I do, to be honest.
Okay, no problem. So Adnan, if I say to you, so okay, let us say this. Is this you get this or no? This is not a contradiction, correct or no? These two
What
statements are not
is that gonna
contradiction
say?
to each other. Yes?
No, they're not contradiction.
Okay, good. So if I say, uh, Allah created from something. And then I say Allah created not from okay, let me just take some out.
That's directly a contradiction.
That is contradiction, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Allah created. Okay, where is the contradiction? In creation or in the thing?
It's the not that's doing the thing, though.
The contradiction's coming from the thing,
From
because
the
both
thing.
are saying that Allah created. The difference is that what it was created from, like from a thing or not from a thing.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So therefore, the creation first. In this argument, the creation of Allah is not challenged, correct?
No, and neither it's challenged.
Right? So neither of the statement challenges the creation of or the ability of Allah to create, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now that it has not been challenged, so all you are saying is that he created from thing and he created not from thing, correct? So both are possibilities. No?
Well, they're mutually exclusive, right?
No. The thing is exclusive, not the creation.
Yes, yes, yes. The thing is exclusive.
Right? So it's just like what Ali said. If I say from X, right? And I say from X, yeah. this X is it would be contradiction, right? Not the creation, right? But if I say, but it could be a Y. Allah's creation is not challenged. This could become a Y. Yes?
It can, but then it's not a contradiction anymore.
True, and that's my point. So the concept of contradiction, because the true contradiction, if the contradiction in terms of negation of Allah would be where? Right? It would be here.
Yes, it will be where we will challenge Allah's ability to create something.
Not. Correct?
Yes.
Do you understand Adnan now or no?
I think so, yeah.
Right? But the thing is, they are not challenging it here. They are challenging it here. Right? So and it then ties up to your argument that there is wajibul wujud. It is already present. So what if there is X or not X present? Okay, there is Y present. Who cares? Right? Allah can create. Allah, you're not challenging the power of creation of Allah. You're only discussing issues related to things, creations, right? Or entities beyond Allah, correct? So that argument is neither here nor there in the presence of essential existence, wajibul wujud, correct? Or not correct? Yeah, Bilal.
So basically, their whole point in all of this is that, like, they are not challenging Allah's power of creativity. What they are challenging is basically how He created something, or what was the substance that was used to create something. So the contradiction they are trying to come is like, oh, it was not X that was made, it was Y that did it, or it was Z that did it. So basically, that's what they're trying to like confuse us.
And through that confusion, they are saying, therefore, there is no Allah. Well, they are not really. There's no connection between these two arguments.
No, there is none. But now that makes more sense. So basically, what they are doing is, instead of like, for example, instead of challenging Allah's power of creativity, what they are challenging or trying to focus on is, no, Allah didn't create stuff from X. He created it from Y, or He created it from Z. And then they are saying, because this thing was not created from X or Y, then Allah doesn't exist. So that's how like they try to like make the loop together.
Right. So this, which is there is no connection between the two.
Absolutely, because once, and the way that like you are trying to say is that once we
No,
accept
that's not
that
true.
Allah has the power of creation, then it doesn't matter if He created from A,
No,
B, C.
because we prove it through wajibul wujud, right?
Yes, I mean that eventually everything comes back to that. But the
So when
point,
we prove it through wajibul wujud and we go through these contradiction criterias, correct?
true,
So now if you come in and say Allah created from X and put it not from X, you put not here. So this entire argument of creation becomes irrelevant, yeah, right? Who cares whether it is from X or not from X? Allah's creation is not challenged.
absolutely spot on, absolutely spot on.
Ali and Adnan, do you understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey,
Yeah,
Adnan,
makes sense.
it makes sense? Okay. So in terms of existence, this is the crux of the argument. This is the key argument. You, inshallah, you will all will remember it. Okay? That once you have understood the proof of wajibul wujud, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit more about it. We will further expand upon it moving forward. But I just did not want to go forward until this point is very, very clear to everybody. Because if it is not, then man, we're gonna keep going circle. We're gonna keep going back in circle. That's not a good thing to do. Right? So, inshallah, if we are clear, then wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That is all.
Yeah, I think that's clear.
Yeah, it's a technical point though. Like it's a very, very technical point to understand.
Yeah, but once you understand this technical issue, inshallah, this issue, the crux of it, we have discussed. I mean, there are
Yes.
details in it, but that's not for you guys. Yeah, that's not for you. Not at this point in time. Maybe later. Not today. Okay. Okay. Very good. Then Adnan, am I? So is it good then?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Okay, then. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so very
Wa
much.
alaikum assalam. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
I'll see you guys later, inshallah. Thank
Wa
you.
alaikum assalam. Agha ji, jazakallah khair. This was a technical. This was very technical though. This is basically like
Logic, right?
Yeah,
it's
this is pure logic. And you know where this guy, before you guys leave, do you know where this comes from? This answer comes from where? This answer comes from the khutbah of Fadak by Hazrat Fatima Zahra alayhi salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Wow.
20 or 30 years later, Imam Ali also brought this argument which is present in Nahjul Balagha. But before him, 25, 30 years before him, this argument was given by Hazrat Fatima Zahra alayhi salam in the khutbah of her Fadak. I will one day show you. Inshallah, next time before we go to Mahiyya, I'll show you that part just as a one line, as a tabarruk, as attaching to the previous discussion before we like 10 seconds and move on.
because that right there literally resolves like everything that can be thrown at you.
And yeah, she resolved a major problem in Tawheed argument because she said it has nothing to do with creation. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that literally like and once like it's
Boom!
yes.
Finish. The whole argument is gone. Anyway, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Jazakallah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair wa ahsan al jaza. Jazakallah.
Yeah,